everyone, I'm Maggie. Welcome back to No Frills Kitchen, and today we're going to be making a chewy salted caramel recipe without corn syrup. Caramel can be daunting and a bit finicky to make, especially if you're not using corn syrup, but once you master the techniques, you'll be able to make it in your sleep. And if you're a fan of recipes like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button.
Before we get started, we need to prep our mold for our caramel. I simply use a standard size loaf pan. What you want to do first is brush the entire pan down with some melted butter or cooking spray. Then you want to fashion a sling of sorts with some cut pieces of parchment paper. So cut 2 pieces of parchment paper so that they fit either side of the pan and then arrange them so that they overlap. Then brush both of those down again with more melted butter and you are in a great position to make sure that your caramel won't stick when it comes to unmolding. Now it's time to make the caramel. On the stovetop, we're first going to want to melt 100 grams of good unsalted butter into 125 mils of heavy cream over medium heat. Once this has completely melted, transfer it to a small jug and keep it by the stovetop. Now, in a clean saucepan, add 200 grams of granulated sugar and 60 mils of water. Over the lowest heat possible, stir this until the sugar dissolves completely in the water, but be careful not to let it boil. If you're concerned that it's coming up to a boil too quickly before your sugar crystals have dissolved, then just pick up the pan and take it off the heat for a minute. Because we're not using corn syrup or cream of tartar here, we need to be extra vigilant about not forming any sugar crystals, so hence this step. If you get all of your sugar dissolved before it starts boiling, then you're set up for success. Once the mixture comes to a boil, dip a pastry brush in some water and use it to wash down the sides of the pan to get rid of any errant crystals. Then, don't touch the mixture. Let the sugar syrup boil until it begins to change. This may take a while, but don't walk away because this can go from clear to burnt in a snap. Continue cooking the sugar syrup until it reaches a deep amber color and small wisps of smoke emerge. If you have a thermometer, you're looking for a temperature of about 160 Celsius or 320 Fahrenheit, but you can just as easily use these visual indicators. Turn off the heat and very carefully pour in your butter and cream mixture along with 1 teaspoon of fine sea salt. The sugar syrup will sputter and foam, so don't be worried when this happens, just be careful not to burn yourself. Stir until this is well combined and turn the heat back to medium. Cook the mixture again, this time stirring constantly until it reaches 120 Celsius or 250 Fahrenheit. If you don't have a thermometer, you can gauge doneness by dropping a bit of the syrup into a glass of cold water. If it forms a ball that is firm but you can easily manipulate it with your fingers, then you're ready to stop cooking. Once you reach this stage, turn off the heat and immediately pour the caramel into your prepared mold. Allow the caramel to cool and set for at least 3 hours and up to overnight. Once the caramel is cooled, unmold it using the parchment sling and use a sharp knife to cut it into 16 equal pieces. Sprinkle them with a generous amount of flaky sea salt and enjoy.
And that's how you make chewy salted caramels. Let me know in the comments how you go with the recipe, and if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and make sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss my next videos.